It's going to be hotter for them than it is for us. So
Really?
if there's something that will make you feel a little bit cooler, I mean, even though we're talking low 90s, we could be talking 100, 110 for highs.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
That's frying egg on the sidewalk weather.
Luckily, we're not. That is what the sidewalk may feel like for
We
our
live
friends.
here.
Yeah, we live where people vacation, though, so we are pretty lucky for that. So overall, as we talk about any rain or storms out there today, let's take a check on Sky Tower radar. We did have those storms that I was tracking about this time last hour, moving through St. Pete Beach. You can really see those fizzling out, though. Only a couple of sprinkles right now near Pinellas Park. And overall, we had a little bit more storm coverage sitting off the coast there. Not too much as we zoom out on Sky Tower. So I expect this morning to remain generally pretty dry. Maybe another sprinkle or two will be possible, but the brunt of the rain and storms will hold off until later in the afternoon into the evening hours. More of that typical summer-like pattern. We have that east-southeast wind flow, so we won't see those kind of move across the state. They will initially start for the East Coast before they make their way to our local area. So some of our coastal communities could see those earlier afternoon storms, but then the heavier, more widespread activity around 3 o'clock. That's when we could be talking about some pops of thunder and some heavier pockets of rain kind of moving across the area. And this is paused here at 6 o'clock. Looks like we could be talking about some heavy lines of storms, maybe focused for some of our southern counties from Sarasota into DeSoto, Highlands, up to Polk County. But overall, most of that activity then starts to quiet down closer to 9, 10 o'clock, maybe a couple of areas of storms lingering for our far southern spots. Kind of similar for our Sunday. I think we start out with a beautiful start, a lot of dry time to get outside. Maybe we see some heavier areas of rain for the coast start a little bit earlier on Sunday. So this is a look at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. We could be dealing with some areas of rain a little bit earlier in the day, especially for some of our coastal spots along and north of the Bay Area. But as for today, we're going to have really a seasonal day. Our normal high 91. We're talking about 92 for a lot of spots for our afternoon highs. A couple of our inland areas may hit 93, 94, but really all across the area, temperatures pretty close to where they should be for this time of year. Of course, the humidity going to be very high. So feels like temperatures closer to 99, maybe 102 all across the area for the afternoon. As for our air quality, looking good out there today, but we may be dealing with some reduced air quality tomorrow. So maybe for sensitive groups, those with respiratory or asthma issues, may start to notice it a bit more tomorrow and early next week. That's as some Saharan dust has kind of been drifting across the Atlantic. And overall, it looks like more of that will kind of move through parts of the Caribbean, off into the Gulf. So over the next couple of days, we could be talking about more of this dust kind of drifting across. It is the first we've seen of it this season. And also wanted to give you a quick check on Tropical Storm Beryl that was upgraded last night. We're watching this to potentially become the first hurricane of the season in the next couple of days. Conditions pretty favorable for it for Sunday into Monday. So right now, Barbados, areas around Grenada, the Windward Islands, that's where we'll be talking about some hurricane watches and advisories. We'll talk more details about that coming up in my next forecast. But for today on the water, just a light chop on the bay. Seas 1 to 2 feet. South wind about 5 knots this morning. Temperatures stay in the low 90s for most of this week.